M. Night Shyamalan should probably just stay away from the apocalypse. Who could forget the standout performance comes from Dave Bautista, in his most tatted-up teddy bear mode possible, wearing glasses like he did in Blade Runner 2049, to suggest the gentle boy inside his grisly physique. For a movie about how humans choose to interact with one another, his acting is incredibly disarming here and sometimes moving in how he chooses to speak so gently while enacting a plan filled with the unthinkable. His character Leonard is a second-grade teacher from Chicago who has united with three other people, played by Rupert Grint, Abby Quinn, and Nikki Amuka-Bird, who have also had life-changing visions of the apocalypse. They approach a cabin in the woods with sharp weapons in hand, and they do not want to hurt the people inside. But they will enact the violence that they feel they must. The targeted family is that of young Wen, Kristen Cui, and her two dads, Eric, Jonathan Groff, and Andrew, Ben Aldridge. They do not know why they have been chosen, but it does not matter. Tied up in chairs before their weapon-wielding captors, they must decide to kill one of their family of three to stop an impending apocalypse. They cannot kill themselves, and if they reject their captor's prospect, something awful will happen in the cabin, and a plague will be unleashed. The first time Eric and Andrew effusively say no, towering tsunamis are conjured, and deadly earthquakes ensue. Are Leonard and his friends onto something? Or is this all a coincidence? Is it manipulation? There may be no force more powerful on this earth than belief. It can be a tool that builds communities or a weapon that destroys lives. A movie like Knock at the Cabin needs to wriggle in that magnanimous uncertainty of belief, and instead, it only sits and admires it. It's like presenting QAnon devotees and people who think the earth is flat as possibly being right, for the sake of both sides-ism. Shyamalan isn't nudging about a divided people, like Jordan Peele's Us, which echoes through the woods of this movie, but lazily stirring the fear of conspiracy. Cut back to us, well aware that our collective brains are broken, waiting for a larger point. We are stuck with a frustrating and self-serious movie that kneels before its zealousness but also continually emphasizes why Leonard and the others would sow skepticism. The script carefully doles out information about everyone to toy with coincidence and happenstance, but it's more stirring, less building. Shyamalan does not have the nuance to handle this idea, as confirmed when his expected twist comes minutes before the end. Even with these sharp weapons, bizarre motivations, and that whole apocalypse thing, Knock at the Cabin lacks a key squeamish element. Not that the movie needs gore, but the threat of violence in this immediate scenario is specifically numbed by cutaways. For a story pitched in the human capacity to recognize another's life value, there just isn't the terror that could create some of its emotional states. The lack of it is deeply felt once it becomes apparent what monsters this movie is and isn't dealing with, while showing how these people are driven by something that forces them to do awful things. Instead, Knock at the Cabin creates one anticlimax after another.